you ever wondered how governments fund their debts? Your birth certificate may be more than just a simple document. It's allegedly tied to a financial bond, traded on global markets. Historical context. In the 1930s, the US faced bankruptcy after abandoning the gold standard. To pay off debts, the government allegedly created sellable debt instruments, or bonds, against its citizens. The strawman account theory. This is linked to the strawman account theory. It proposes that every US citizen has two identities, the living person and the birth certificate or citizen paper, the strawman. Your birth certificate is believed to be connected to a secret bond, traded on financial markets. This bond allegedly generates revenue for governments. The sovereign citizen movement. This concept is central to the sovereign citizen movement. They claim individuals can reclaim their sovereignty and access these hidden funds. The birth certificate bond theory raises questions about government accountability and individual freedom.
Bob Wright, Heather and Tucci Jaraff, and Randall Keith Bean were involved in efforts to promote accessing Treasury direct accounts, or trust accounts tied to Social Security numbers. Individuals can access hidden funds by leveraging their birth certificates or Social Security accounts tied to the Federal Reserve and government systems. Their attempts to expose or utilize this redeeming process led to punishment dealt out by the cabal, resulting in significant legal and personal struggles, primarily centered around a high-profile fraud case in 2017. It was likely made high-profile to make an example of those attempting to claim what is rightfully theirs. But that would mean rustling free of the cabal's control. Heather and Tucci Jaraff. She holds an advanced law degree, which she states helped her sniff out the corruption. She has experience as a prosecutor and has engaged extensively in bank trade and finance, including working with significant financial entities such as the Rothschilds and the Bank for International Settlements. Her core mission involves facilitating unfettered access and facilitation to your Treasury direct account and international equivalents. Heather and Tucci Jaraff was arrested and subsequently imprisoned as a direct result of her involvement in a prominent case related to Randall Keith Bean and his attempts to access his funds via his Treasury direct account. Tucci Jaraff's involvement began with the aim to keep Randy alive and not disappeared, citing intelligence that he was intended to be made an example of. A kangaroo court found her guilty in February 2018. The prosecution labeled her activities as money laundering, which doesn't even make any sense. She faced a potential maximum sentence of 20 years and a $500,000 restitution for helping people access their own Treasury direct account using their own Social Security number. Randall Keith Bean became a prominent figure in regards to Treasury direct accounts and global financial systems, particularly through his association with Heather and Tucci Jaraff and the One People's Public Trust initiatives. Randall Keith Bean is an individual who attempted to access and utilize funds from his Treasury direct account. He also has a history related to the military and space programs. Randall Keith Bean was arrested and subsequently faced legal proceedings as punishment and to be made an example of. He attempted to access and transfer his money from his Treasury direct account, and the charges against him were contested. Bean utilized his Treasury direct account to purchase high-volume certificates of deposit, CDs, through his USAA bank account. He then authorized a wire transfer of approximately $500,000 from these funds to purchase a very large oversized coach. None of this would be possible if it was not already his own money in his own Treasury direct account accessed with his own Social Security number. They can throw around words like fraud and money laundering, which isn't how money laundering works, but the fact money came out of his account cannot be erased despite how badly the cabal would like it to be. Bean was arrested, without warrant, without charges, by officers who were unwilling to identify themselves. Authorities spent approximately 3.5 hours trying to figure out what to charge him with. Initially, a bogus Colorado warrant was presented, which HATJ identified as a military-related attempt to disappear him. As this became publicly known, and due to the high visibility of his situation, authorities switched to a South Carolina warrant. During his time in custody, Bean appeared gaunt and visibly affected, having lost significant weight. In court, he was subjected to full shackles around his ankles, wrists, and was even subjected to belly chains. This proved to be a clearly excessive and showy display. Authorities aggressively tried to prevent any eye contact or communication between Bean and his supporters in the courtroom. Randall also appeared off his game, and not the Randall that you normally see and work with, suggesting he was affected mentally and emotionally by his imprisonment. It's believed that Bob, Heather, and Randall were all given the option to keep their Treasury Direct accounts if they would agree not to expose the accounts, but they all decided against it and chose to do the right thing. However, Bob Wright was shortly murdered afterwards. Heather was falsely imprisoned and secretly moved from jail to jail, and Randall was imprisoned for pulling out millions of his own money. However, accounts are real. They are in your name, and the cabal has been using them without your knowledge to enslave you. Where does the money from your Treasury Direct account come from, and under what government authority is it used by? Why are they saying we don't have transactional authority with our Treasury Direct accounts? If we don't, then who does? Who is the trustee to our Treasury Direct account? If you are over 26 years of age, you have control over your own trust. Since the Treasury Direct account is a trust, and we are the beneficiaries, there has to be someone able to receive an affidavit from you to authorize you to use it. If there's a trustee in charge of your trust, and you are over the age of 26, demand that person to step forward so you can publicly take control of your own trust.